Okay, sorry about that. Let me just change ray tracing to performance because ray tracing in this game is good, but it's not it adds a lot of input lag. So, coming to the background for me, for which what exactly is Witcher 3 is for me. So before this, the only games I have played was Devil May Cry, action-oriented games, X-Men or X-Men Legends 2, Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance, Duck Hunt, those kinds of things. I've never actually played an open world massive RPG like this. So it was a bit new for me. This Witcher 3 was my very first RPG. And when I first saw it, I was like, is this for me? So I didn't buy it yet. But then I think Henry Cavill's The Witcher series came out, and I was like, you know what? This is completely different, looks completely different from what I thought it would be. So I decided to buy it. It was on sale, and I bought it. Now, this is just a opinion review about just the base game, not the amazing two DLCs. Okay, so let's talk about it. I was actually very much surprised how much I like Witcher 3 because it's massive. Yes, it has its little bit of quirks and restrictions. I wouldn't restrictions only because I was coming from an action game where if I unlock a skill, I was free to use it. The whole concept of just choosing particular skills to make a story, to make your character was a bit new for me. But the more I played it, I could see, yeah, it's not just about being the most powerful person ever. It's more about making a decision and living with the consequences. That is entirely what Witcher 3 is. You see something, you make a decision, whether it's good or bad, you live with the consequences. That is the entire Witcher 3 for me. And there's little things which they add, which I think enhance the experience so much. Okay, now coming to exploration and environment. I've bundled these two together is because the environment should invite you to explore it, right? It shouldn't just be a barren land, it shouldn't be uninteresting. It should invite you to go and explore it. And I think Witcher 3 has done it phenomenally. There's so many interlinked stories, things, and like every journey you take, like every from one point to another, gives you a completely different story. You might find a ghost hunt, you might find a contract, you might find some secret, you might find this, you might find that, all of that. But in order for any person to go and explore something, as I said before, it has to be interesting. And this game, at least in the free Witcher 3 next gen upgrade, looks absolutely amazing. Whether you're walking through fields, you know, the lush environment, the leaves, or whether you're walking through the night, or you're walking through some, what do you call, water. You're swimming through water. It still looks amazing. And if you're wondering how big actually the map is, what is the explorable area, it's not just, okay, it's a collection of open worlds. Like, for example, this is the part where I was in right now. And as I zoom out, this is the entire map. Okay. These are all the areas you can go to. Anywhere you see a green marker, that is the place you can go. Where they're not green markers, where you see at the edges of the screen, those are kind of like the invisible walls of the game. You can't actually go past them. So it's not completely open, but it's big enough that you will not notice a difference. Now this is just one area. Now, now there are two areas which are actually, what do you call, kind of into one. Velen and Novigrad, they kind of just form one big giant open map. But the map icons just give you a focused approach to things, so that's completely fine. It's kind of a they could have just made one, both of them combined into one, but I understand that for story reasons they had to. Now, one of my favorite things to explore is Skellige, because if you have seen the recent Witcher 4 demo, the place looks exactly like from Skellige. Now, Skellige feels a bit more fantastical and dark filled compared to other bright areas for some reason. And this is just the castle. There's not much things to explore, but you will find some secrets. And this is White Orchard. This is your first area. It's still big enough. You can also find some really cool things. I'm not going to spoil anything in this video. If for some reason people still haven't played The Witcher, you should definitely give it a try. Now, coming to the one which we already said, any marker you see, you can go there. And it's not just one biome, it's a collection of various different biomes you can go to. There are swamps, there are Koshi marshlands, there are haunted castles, haunted lighthouses, and everything. And this is the sun. This is a completely new part. This is part of the DLC, the final DLC called Blood and Wine. And this thing is massive. It's like it's an entire game on its own. Now the best part about these DLCs is that you don't have to play the base game. You can start directly from DLCs. And I'm going to talk a lot more about Blood and Wine in a completely different video. But this is a completely different vibe from the regular base game. I don't know how they decided to. They completely shifted the tone and they still made it work. And this is Kaer Morhen. I'm pretty sure I'm pronouncing it wrong. So this is kind of your Witcher school. You can find a lot of Witcher gear in here, and some interesting parts of the story take place. I'm not gonna spoil much. And as I said before, Skellige will always be my favorite. I have completed the entire story. I've completed both the DLCs, but I still find a lot of things to do in Skellige. I just love the vibe. It's always cloudy, it's dark, it's moody. You find little things. Now, starting with, as I said, the reason I've compiled both explanation this is that you must have seen that little mountain over there, just back in the video. Now, if you're wondering, you can go there. Now that mountain. It's not a mountain exactly. It's like a little island in the middle of the ocean. Can you go there? Of course you can. That looks interesting for you. You can definitely go. You can either swim there, or you'll find some sort of boat which you can always take. Now, all you have to do is go. Now, you don't actually have to travel through fast travel all the time. You can just keep on exploring. Like I said, the world is divided into couple of mini open worlds, and in that mini open world you can go anywhere. If you see a mountain on the far, if it's accessible, you can go. Now, as I said before, I found this little island interesting, and I go there and I find some loot. And it's not just some loot, right? You can see one of the chests has some glowing blue energy balls coming out of it. That is supposed to be a special chest where you find some special items or some key items. So, as you can see, you will find a decent enough backstory for it. And this is completely optional. You didn't even have to do this. So this is what I like about the game, right? That's why I mixed exploration and environment together. I saw a little bit of island on a distance. I thought it was cool. I thought I should check it out, and I do. I find a way to go there, either swim or by boat. And when I reach there, I fight some people, fight some things, and I find out a cool backstory. It didn't have to be there, but that's the whole point of the Witcher game. Witcher game has. I've completed the game. I've probably put like 150 hours in the game, and I still keep on finding different new things. I don't know how they managed to do it. Now, you must have seen until now that The Witcher 3 looks absolutely beautiful. It looks. Okay, it might not hold up to the Unreal Engine 5 games right now, but it's still I think the art style which they chose, it looks amazing. I still think Witcher 3 is one of the most best looking games of all time. Now the other thing is, when you're on a boat, you can fast travel to any anchor points. And I did so. I found the nearest anchor point, and guess what? I found a cave near to the fast travel point. So what do? I just go and explore. Now this was completely random. Even though I completed the game, this is not scripted. I just found something. One thing led to another, and I got into this cave. As you can see, I saw this symbol. I have no idea what this is. So if someone does know, please let me know. And look, I found this cave by optional. I just go in. I have no idea what's waiting inside. It could be a monster. It could be some really cool loot. But let's see what happens. And I think I just found some loot here. And let's see. Let's go inside here. Let's go even more deeper. See, you can also find some rare loot. You can find regular loot. You can find rare loot. And sometimes you can also find, what do you call, epic and rare quality items. Yes, this game is divided into different categories and different levels. Items are at different level. You need to keep leveling up. But I didn't find it that intrusive. I actually found it actually good. It's actually nice. Oh, and look what I found. I actually found, I think, a cool little. Let's see what's here. And oh, look at this. It's a diagram to create enhanced sign armor. Now, the game is not just filled with beautiful vistas, it's also filled with like haunted places and creepy places. And this is randomly in a town. Look at this. I found a bloodbath. Now I'm pretty sure this was a part of a storyline. But even after you complete the story as Ciri, I think it's still here. There's some creepy lady here, and there's some other part which I can't actually show you on YouTube because I might get removed. And look at it, looks so creepy. And that's the thing, it just keeps on giving. Oh, and you will also find some NPC interactions. If you listen to them carefully, you can actually sometimes get an interesting side quest or a key indicator of going somewhere. Now, let's talk about combat and interactivity. Now, the reason I've bundled up combat and interactivity is here's some cool Witcher moves you can do. You can be some sword spinning Witcher guy, magic wielding Witcher guy, and here's me doing it again because it's just cool. So I'm just gonna keep the clip twice. Okay, and some other clips of me hitting monsters. Okay, as I was saying, the reason I've bundled up and combat and interactivity is that sometimes fighting things leads you to discover something new. It gives you a completely new interaction which you didn't think was possible. And for example, it doesn't always lead to something. Like for example, I defeated these enemies and I didn't get anything in return, right? But sometimes when you're just going, you get attacked by a bunch of wolves. So you fight them. Oh, that's it. And that horse is called a roach, by the way. And this is the weapon wheel. And look at this. Uh, at first, it just seems like a completely random encounter. Oh, some wolves are attacking you, and roach is just running away. And the weapon wheel again. So, and what happens sometimes? What happens is that to defeat a place, you defeat these monsters. Let me just a minute and deflect, and I'm way too overpowered, so I'm just gonna kill everything in one hit. So I defeated these monsters, and that combat encounter led to this scene. I've just liberated a small area of the game, so now this town people can come back and explore and live. That's entirely up to you. That's all because of you.
I'll pray for you.
That's why I've
Pray to
bundled up
hear
combat
your
interactivity is that you can some random encounters lead you to something new. That's just like exploration leads you to something new. Combat in this game also leads you to
watch
something
it.
different from the main
Greetings,
story.
stranger.
I'd like to look
And
at your
that's the
choice of
thing, man.
swords.
For me, Witcher 3 is just that. Com- it's it's just new experiences. I'm mind boggled that this
Farewell.
game was actually $60 back then compared to things like what we get right now. We get no complaint against some handheld consoles which release a racing game for $90. I'm not gonna say the name, I'm pretty sure you know who it was. Compare that to Witcher 3, it's a no-brainer. I cannot even imagine, like, there are very few games which can give you this much content for such a price, and and I'm still discovering things these days, right? It's they're they're like the now if I have to rank all of the uh, game companies, I'm not an expert in all of them, but this is just after Rockstar. For me, CD Projekt Red is almost close to Rockstar. I think they might have a little bit of edge because they do these fantastical worlds, so they can tell different varied stories. Now that doesn't mean that other things can't, other like Rockstar can't, right? So as you can see, you must have seen me using the weapon wheel, and if you use ARD, you can actually destroy flying enemies in one hit. That's a little bit of tip for you, and that's it. And obviously, I've segmented these into two parts, but in the end, this is just one cohesive experience. Sometimes the environment brings you in for exploration. The exploration will lead to combat. The combat will lead to interactivity. It's all bundled up. I didn't have to do this, but I just thought I just found many instances in this game where exploration led me to something where the environment led me to explore, and sometimes random encounters would lead me to something entirely new place. So I just thought I would just separate these two. So that's Witcher 3 for me. Witcher 3 is the perfect blend of magic, swords, exploration, story, freedom, and humor. There's a little bit of humor in there if you know where to look. Let's look at some of the magic attacks. That is Ard, that is the weapon wheel, this is Igni. Now, I mainly use only three: Yerden, Igni, and Ard, because these are really good for crowd control. You can have two different versions of each. Like a single tap will do something, like it will form a ground sigil, and the long press will give you something new. So, coming to the RPG elements of it, this what boggled me before, because in previous action games I could just unlock skills and use all of them, but in this I had to make a choice. And at first it did feel a bit restrictive for me, because why 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 can't I do everything? Then as slowly as the game progressed, I started to understand more. So what I've done, you can choose between four. You can choose between combat, alchemy, magic, and regular skills. Actually, you can use general regular skills and bombs and general skills. So what I've done is a mixture of three. And you can, in Blood and Wine, you can also include mutagens, which will completely change the game. I've gone for a mix of combat, magic, and alchemy. Basically, magic and this, it's just a mix of everything. And these are the quests. I haven't completed all the treasure hunts yet, but I have completed all of the main stories and secondary stories. So the treasure hunts is only left for me. Main missions are completed though. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna go for another playthrough. So that's it for Witcher 3. I hope you like it.